Andy, you're the founder of Proud Salopians. Tell me about your organisation and what it represents.
Sure. Proud Salopians is a LGBT supporters group, so we're here for both any lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans fans, potential fans, people who are interested in football but perhaps haven't yet come to watch a game of football or are a bit afraid to. We're also here for allies as well, anybody who's a supporter of the town for however long, whatever age, whatever sex, anybody who wants to be involved really.
I just mentioned there that you're one of the founders or the founder. How did the idea come about?
There are a number of supporters groups up and down the country. They started off with quite the larger football teams. Obviously they have bigger followings. Arsenal, Man City were the first couple that was founded just after the millennium. But it's something really that sort of filtered down throughout the leagues. There's obviously not been anything of this sort at Shrewsbury previously. Some clubs have done it because they have a latent fan base of LGBT fans. Others have done it through a result of people having abuse or having uncomfortable experiences. That's not really the case with us here. But we want obviously to be welcoming and accessible to everybody. So there's absolutely no reason not to set a group up. As I've said before, it's not just for LGBT fans, it's for anybody who wants an inclusive atmosphere and wants everybody to get behind the town. So we set up in October 2019, we launched.
We're proud, of course, to have this big banner that's behind you. How proud are you when you see that in a packed Montgomery Waters meadow represented?
It's great. It really does fill me with a sense of pride. It's obviously been a bit awkward in the last season and a half because we've not all been here, but even just seeing it sort of pre-match behind the players warming up on iFollow, it's great that the club are on board with it as well. We've had some great feedback from Brian, the chief exec, and from a lot of the staff here, and it's wonderful to see that everybody's embraced it.
You talk about that inclusive atmosphere, everyone kind of together. How big is it for you encouraging people to feel comfortable when coming to the football? And I'm sure if anyone does want to come and, like you mentioned, if they're not sure, they can contact you and get involved.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a number of methods of contact. Got a telephone number, email address. We're on social media, and it is all about encouraging new fans. I think we're all very aware that the fans that we have currently are all, well, not all, but majority of them are of a certain age, and we're looking to bring the new age of fans in. And I think as well as that, we also need to be looking at perhaps areas of society that have never really considered coming to football before. So not only LGBT fans, but we're looking to we're looking to reach out to more female fans, to ethnic minorities, to more disabled supporters, people who might see that there are either societal or physical barriers to coming and enjoying and getting behind the team.
Eagle-eyed people might see the pin badge that you've got on there. If people want to represent, where can they get one of those?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are Proud Salopians is the name of the group. We are at Salopian Pride on Twitter. You can reach us on email at salopianpride@gmail.com. That'll come through to myself. Pin badges are available. There's just a couple of pounds for postage, but there's no real charge for them. If you want to see me on a match day, happy to hand them out. I sit normally in block 10. Well, I'm in the safe standing in block 10. But if anybody really wants to reach out, wants to join, get a bit more information of what we're about, wants to come to a match when we're all back at the meadow, then more than happy to get in touch with us.
I know this is a really wide question, but if you had a kind of key message that you want to get across, what would it be?
Football is for everybody. Really, it's always been a community-based sport, and I think in recent years there's been obviously more of a growth towards it being an industry, but I think we all need to remember that football is for the fans, and that comes without gender, without any age restriction, without any sexuality definition. There are no restrictions. If you want to come to the football, come to the football. And I personally have never had a problem here. I've experienced issues maybe at other grounds, which has led me to sort of bringing this up as an away fan. But everybody here is so warm and so welcoming, and I think we just want more people to see that and to realise that football isn't perhaps what they deem it to be, what it's been in the 70s, 80s, and it's a change sport, and everybody's welcome.
Just a final one from me. How nice and how positive is it to see all the strides that football is making within different kinds of communities?
Oh, it's great. I mean, the charity work that's done with Shrewsbury Town in the community is astounding to see the work they do with local communities. As a sport, we've taken massive strides in the last decade or two. The amount of work that's going on across the board at every level, from grassroots right up to the Premier League. There are obviously more LGBT groups being involved, there are ethnic minorities groups being involved, more and more people being encouraged to come to football as it sort of evolves and changes. I think that the work as well that the likes of Pride in Football, the Fans Supporters Association, Kick It Out are doing is amazing. I do think it's the first steps. I think we've got a lot farther to go as a sport, but it's great as first steps. Really, really positive.